Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Say You Think You're Iconic, and slowly but surely, we will figure out all of these technical issues.
Yes. It was a hard learning curve last week.
hmm
Um, this week is a lot better,
hmm
but
Much less time.
much less time. But I am the issue mainly because I have a very old laptop and she is on her last legs,
hmm
and I can't use her anymore. So I've been jumping from laptop to laptop until I get like my own.
I mean, this
So
this this time it was kind of my fault. So
yeah, no,
yeah,
but still.
still, but yeah.
Still, it wouldn't be an issue if I had a normally working laptop. That was
hmm
mine personally. So, yeah.
Hopefully, Best Buy has a nice little sale coming up soon or something.
I mean, they did discontinue one of the Apple discontinued one of the laptops that they were producing, and that was on sale, but still that was like I think $700.
Girl, you better get one of those like open boxed ones, like one of the
Yeah.
returned.
One of those
hmm
either like refurbished or yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely trying to look there. It's just that I haven't looked at laptops in a long time. So
I don't remember what was happening, but I got mine for a steal. It was like $500.
really,
Yeah,
slay.
my
I'm
little
gonna have to find
MacBook
out.
Pro
Yeah,
with the touch bar.
yeah, because mine is yeah, because that's the one that I was using last week with the little
hmm
touch bar at the top. Mine is I think from 2014, 2015.
Mm.
So yeah, she's a little clunky. She's almost 10 years old.
Which,
So
by the way, um, I will not be updating to one that doesn't have a touch bar. So
is touch bar the move?
I love my touch bar. If
Okay.
I love it. I'm sorry. And then also, I can skip YouTube ads with it.
Really?
Yeah. If you just like drag it while it's doing the ad, it'll skip it.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I
So
kind of love it. I'm sorry, I can't. You'll have to pry it from my cold dead hands.
so maybe I'm getting one with a touch bar then. That's actually really cool.
You should.
I mean, I loved that the function where there's like I don't know if yours has it.
The
But
fingerprint.
the
Yep.
yeah,
hmm
that was always so cool to me. My dad has the one with the little touch bar. And like whenever I would see him you like sign into his work laptop, he would do the little thumb thing on the side of
hmm
like, oh, you're
Yeah.
fancy. So yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta figure that out.
Yeah. We gotta figure this out, but we will.
Well,
We get through everything eventually.
yes, we do.
Well, how was your week, Kelly?
It was all right. Actually, if you wanted to talk about your awful weekend, then I
Mm,
will yield all my small talk time to you if you would like.
I guess. I mean,
Okay, because that is so much
I
more interesting than what I went through this week, and I would love to talk about
I
it.
get. So this past weekend, I went to Vegas for the Lovers and Friends festival.
hmm
Paid VIP for it. That was
Yep.
not cheap.
Nope.
So we drive down on Thursday. I get they drop me off at my hotel. They go to their hotel. We're literally on opposite sides of the strip. Why? Because I told them what hotel I was staying at when I because like I bought my hotel like as soon as I bought my ticket.
Mhm.
They waited to the last minute.
Oop.
Somehow they got a better hotel spot than me, but that's neither here nor there.
Hmm.
So my hotel had breakfast. So yeah. Also, my hotel room was bigger than theirs. But
Hey.
so we we go out that night for some food. It's literally the worst place I've ever been to. First off, the service was awful.
Mm.
Secondly, the food wasn't good. Like it was Mexican food and it was not good.
Ah,
And they didn't even have a lot of options. Like we looked online at the menu and they had options, but then the like menus they gave us was like
not the
bars,
same.
snacks.
What the heck?
And so I literally just ordered like nachos and the chips were greasy,
Oh,
which was weird because they gave us a bowl of chips when we sat down and they were really good chips. So I don't understand what happened there.
something must have happened.
But yeah, and
That
so
Vegas air.
these people complain. to like the 10th degree. So honestly, I was ready to go. And we paid so much money, Kelly. So much money for that
Yeah.
food and those two little drinks they got.
Eesh.
And I was like, this does not bode well
Yeah, no.
for
Mm-mm.
me. And so after a long time, including my like my card not going through because I forgot to tell my bank that I was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to
Fraud
like
charge.
so I had to
Yeah.
like so I had to like text them like, no, that was
Yeah,
me.
this is me.
And so yeah, that was the first day. Second day, it was Friday. We wanted to like not do anything too heavy because we were supposed to go to a festival the next day.
Mm.
So we just walked around the strip. We went to this like bar slash adult playground place called Play at the Luxor. It was pretty fun. They had like waitresses going around giving people like for you could like buy shots and Jello shots and
Oh.
stuff. I bought a couple of Jello shots. Those are they had them in like the tubes. That was really hard.
Oh. Oh.
It
Did it
was
get stuck because of the jello?
yeah, it kept getting stuck, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is hard to drink. And so I just started buying like the little tubes of like liquor they had, which were glittery for some reason. I don't know why I put that in my body, but I did.
It's edible, for sure.
We did that, and then I don't even remember what we ate that night. We ate something. They eat a lot.
Do they?
I can't eat as much as I used to.
I
Like
understand that.
maybe two big meals a day is my max. Like I can't be eating three full meals a day anymore.
Yeah, I felt that.
And so they were always hungry, and I was like, yo,
Where y'all
my
putting this?
I can't. And so we did that. We walked around. We drank. We got these mugs for Fat Tuesdays. We were just walking around drinking Fat Tuesdays. And then we went to their hotel that night, and it was around like 10 ish, almost 11. And they were just like, we were just like hanging out, listening to music, watching Ghost. And I was like,
Not ghost.
I was just on my phone and I went on TikTok and I saw a video of a girl being like, Lovers and Friends festival is canceled. And like I just kind of ignored it because
I
literally
can't
from
believe that's how you found out.
that's how I found out. Because literally I was in their hotel and from their hotel room I could see the festival.
Yeah.
I could see someone on stage rehearsing. So I was
Yeah.
like, that's not true.
Right.
so
Right.
so I'm just like going through TikTok again, and then I go on Twitter, and then I see someone tweet that the Lovers and Friends festival was canceled, and I was like, "What are you talking about? No, it's not." Go back on TikTok, and there's more videos of people saying it's canceled, and then I see someone that like I know on TikTok saying that it's canceled, and I was like, "That can't be true."
Oh
And then I went to
no.
my email, and I was like, "There's no email."
Right.
And so I was like, I downloaded this app mostly so I can like schedule out what shows I wanted to see.
Mhm.
And so I went into the app, and the first thing that popped up was like this big like link that said like festival update. My heart dropped.
No. No.
I clicked on it, and they were like, due to high winds, the festival is canceled. First off, it
Oh my
was not windy when they sent
gosh.
that to us,
Yeah.
and I was like, and so I had to break the news to them, and they thought I was
Oh,
lying.
well, yeah. Understandable.
And then my cousin started crying, and she was like, "We're going out tonight." And I was like, I don't want to go out.
Right.
I don't want to go.
Right.
And so we like got up, and I was like, I guess we can go to Senior Frogs. And so they were like, cool, we're gonna do that. And so we walked over to Treasure Island where Senior Frogs was. And I, when I go out with them, I had to be like a pack mule and just like pack up a backpack because I was on the other side of the strip.
Right.
So like going back to my hotel was not
Not an
feasible.
option, yeah.
And so I had a backpack with me, and I think I think he might have had some weed on him because they were all like, "We gotta hide this. We can't go in there," because there was like a security guy at the door,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was like, "Oh, there's security at the door. They're probably not even gonna let me go in with a backpack."
Right.
And so I go up there, and I'm like, "Hey, can I go in?" They're like, "No, no, with the backpack." And I was like, "Oh, damn."
Fair.
And so
Right.
I tell them, I'm like, "Hey, I can't go in with this backpack." And so we just go to like a bar in the hotel.
Hmm.
They ordered more food, Kelly.
What the
And it
heck?
wasn't even like a thing of fries. They ordered
A
fries,
meal.
pretzel, hot dog, blah 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 blah. And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Can you gonna help us eat this?" I was like, "I'm not hungry."
Right.
And
Like, who told you I was hungry? Why are we eating?
yeah, and so I ordered a drink or something. I had been drinking all day at this point. I was done. And so we drank, ate that food, and then I was like, "Cool. I'm just gonna take an Uber back to my to my
Right.
hotel." It was like midnight something, maybe 1 o'clock at this point. I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm,
Right.
I'm tired. And so they insisted on waiting with me as if I'm a child and I can't wait for an Uber by myself. And
Hmm.
then so yeah, went to bed that night around maybe 2 a.m. And then I
Look
woke up
at
and then I
you.
woke up at like 6. Oh girl, I didn't go to bed any night before maybe 2:30 a.m.
Wow, good for you.
And so I ended up waking up at like 6:45 the next day. Don't know
Oh,
why, just woke up. And so I just laid in bed watching movies. I was like, I'll let them sleep in, do whatever they want, and then we'll like figure out what we're gonna do today because we were supposed to go to a festival and that's not happening.
right. And now it's canceled.
And so I think around like 10ish or something, she texted me. She was like, "You up?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been up." She's like, "Why didn't you text me?" And I was like, "So y'all could sleep in and like we don't have anything to do today. Like
Right.
it's not a big deal." And so she was like, we'll be there in about an hour." Maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours later they got there.
2 hours.
Yeah, and then I think we went to go get breakfast with her grandma because her grandma lives in Vegas.
Hmm.
That was really good, but I tried to be healthy because I was like, I haven't really eaten that healthy while we're
Right.
out here. I ordered a veggie omelet. Why was this veggie omelet smothered in cheese? Like,
I feel like that's one of the things that happens when you get like vegetarian food and there's some like either like a dressing or like a cheese or something that's included with it. They always go ham on it. I
literally like a
feel.
puddle of grease at the bottom of this omelet because they put
Ooh,
so
no.
and there was cheese also inside of the omelet. So it was just cheese on cheese on cheese.
So is a cheese omelet
It was a cheese omelet with some spinach and mushrooms in
on
it.
the side. Right. Right.
And so they gave and so it was a big portion, dude. Like it was a huge omelet. And then there was toast that had like a mountain of butter on it. And then there were these potatoes that were over seasoned, but and less. And so we were like, what are we gonna do today? And so we just walked around the strip. We did some shopping,
Nice.
but me, you know me, I'm always prepared. I knew in the back of my mind they were gonna try to do something, so I
Mm.
packed in my backpack clothes to like go out that night because
Yeah.
I knew,
Yeah.
and luckily I did that because we were walking to go get like dinner or something, and this like club promoter stopped them. And I was like, "What are you doing? Like, club promoters have been trying to stop us for the past 2 days. Like, why are we stopping?"
Right.
But whatever, I let them talk to that man. And then they came, and I was just on my phone waiting for them to finish their conversation. And then when they came back, they were like, "Yeah, we're going to the club tonight to see DJ Mustard."
Hey.
And I was like, "I don't want to go to a club." But I was like, Fine, whatever." Uh,
Right. When in Vegas, I guess.
right? And they were like, "Yeah, we have to be there at 10:30."
Right.
And I was like, "Cool,
So
whatever."
12.
So I was like, "Cool, whatever." And so we go, we look for food, we get more Fat Tuesday, like refill our jugs for Fat Tuesdays. They want to go to this barbecue restaurant. I look it up. We literally walk all around this place. that restaurant did not exist.
That's insane.
Like it was literally insane. I was like, "Where is this?" Like we walked around like twice. I was like, "Where is this restaurant? It says it's here, but it's not here." And so we
S-
and so we just settled on like a Brazilian place.
yeah.
So we ate that, and then we took an Uber back to their hotel. We all got dressed. While we were eating, though, I was like, "It's getting late. I don't think we're gonna make this
Right.
10:30 thing." And they just weren't listening to me, and I was like,
Ugh.
"Okay, but like, y'all know that line is gonna be insane if we're not there early."
Right.
But they didn't care, and so I was like, "Cool, whatever." So we got dressed. We didn't get to the hotel where that place was until like 11 something,
Ah,
11:30 ish. Luckily, the like promoter like sent out a text. He was like, "Yeah, if you guys want to skip the line, it'll be in like $50 per person."
right.
And so they paid that, and I was like, "Cool, whatever." So we go in. We have to go up like 7 flights of stairs to get to this club.
Hmm.
My cousin is wearing a mini skirt, no, a mini dress and heels. I was like, "This is not going to end
Ouch.
well at all."
No. Nope.
And so we get in there, it's already packed, and there's still, I feel like hundreds of people waiting in that line that we skipped to
Hmm.
get in. I was
Oh
like, oh,
gosh.
this is not going to be fun.
Nope.
And so when we got in, my cousin got like a wristband, and they told her that she could get free drinks for an hour. And so we
Mm-hmm.
like when we get up there finally, because it was a trek to get up there. We immediately go to the bar, and she orders three double shots of Patron.
Hmm.
I don't know what happened. I wasn't over there. I just know that
Right.
she like waved me and her boyfriend over there, and she was like, "There, we have to pay for these." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And so
Right.
I'm thinking it's probably gonna be like $80. I hand over my card, and she's like, "Yeah, that would be $145."
No.
My the like drop from my heart just went into my stomach. I was like, $145.
No.
I was like, well, they're literally sitting right there, and you already made them.
Right.
There's kind of nothing I can do about that. And
Right.
so I paid $145. Actually, I paid more because I also tipped, but
Mhm.
for three drinks.
Those better be the best drinks in the
We
world.
bought an entire bottle of Patron the day before for like $40.
Oh yeah, the upcharge is insane.
I At that point I was determined to have fun. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
too invested to not have fun. And
absolutely.
so it was at this point of the night, it was like actually windy, and I was like, and then my cousin was cold, even though it was
Mhm.
like 64 degrees. Like it was not cold outside. Um, and so we like push our way in, and I end up behind like a VIP bar, like
Mhm.
VIP section. And they're like behind me somehow. I don't know, whatever. I was like, I have a good spot. I'm gonna stand right here. I'm gonna dance.
Right.
And so I
Right.
was just dancing. And about 30, maybe 45 minutes in, I like look back just to see if they're still there. I see him, but I don't see her. And I'm like, oh, she probably went to the bathroom.
Mhm.
Maybe another 30 minutes later, she ends up next to me somehow. Don't know how she got there, but she did. Because
She's there.
at this point, it was really packed. Don't know how she pushed herself next to me.
Right.
And I'm dancing. And at some point she like tells me, she's like, me and him got into a fight. And I was like, how?
How?
How? Apparently we weren't matching energies when we got there. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, no one
Plus
does.
we had just walked up 7 flights of stairs. Like I was kind of tired, and it was like midnight. Like I was tired.
Right.
But I just ignored that. I was like, I'm dancing. I'm having fun. DJ Mustard is in front of me. And
Right.
so I was dancing, dancing, dancing. And then we're constantly getting pushed by like the bottle girls trying to come into this VIP section. There's people walking, trying to get through. We're constantly being pushed. And then at one point, one of the guys inside the VIP section offers my cousin some champagne. And she's like, oh, no, thank you. And then he offered it to me, and I was like, absolutely, thank you.
No, do not accept free
I'm
drinks.
sorry. I had to do what I had to do. Also, I saw the bottle girl pour it, so it was fine.
Right.
Could he have slipped something in? Sure, but like,
Yeah.
what was he going to do with me? What
Eee.
what what was he going to do? I was bigger than him. What was he going to do? But either way, um, I drank it. That was the best. I don't like champagne for a reason that Kelly knows about.
Yep.
Um, that was the best champagne I've ever had in my entire life. It was so sweet and so delicious. It was almost like juice.
That's so insane,
It was so good.
especially for you.
I I kind of want to go back to Vegas just so I can find out what that drink was.
Wow.
It was so good. And then yeah, got my little free drink, thank goodness. And then I danced some more. And then it was like around 1:45, like almost 2 o'clock, and I was like, I'm tired. I wanna go. And so I signaled to my cousin. I was like, I wanna leave. And it was hot, and it was getting just more and more crowded every second. And so I was like, cool, I'm done. So I go outside. She goes up. She follows me outside, and I'm like, cool, I'm leaving. I just need to go to the bathroom. She's like, yeah, I'll go with you. So we go to the bathroom. We come back. She's like, I need to go in and get him. I'm like, cool, you do that. And so she goes in. She gets him. He seems a little upset. I'm like, I don't care. I want to
Right.
go home.
Right.
And so we make our way downstairs. She orders an Uber. I think she ordered the Uber to the wrong hotel because we're standing there,
Hmm.
and this man, and she calls him. She's like, "Where are you?" And he's like, "I'm here." And she's like, "No, you're not." And then at this point, people are starting to come down from the club, so it's getting really busy in this like Uber pickup area.
Right.
And so she just cancels it. And so we just start walking down the strip, and he is trying to like flag down taxis on the strip. I'm like, you can't do that.
Right.
I'm like, have you never been here before? Like, I've never been here before, and I know you can't flag down
You
a
can't.
cab
Yeah.
on the strip. And so he's getting upset. She's getting upset. She's cold. Her feet hurt. And he, like, just ends up walking off into the Bellagio hotel, like, leaving us. And I'm just like, whatever. But I see that there's, like, a line of taxis, like, waiting to pick people up, and there's, like, no one there. So I'm like, let's just take
Hmm.
a taxi. But she's
Hmm.
like, but he has my she crying. She's like,
Oh my
he has
goodness.
my ID and he has my room key and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I hate these people. I want to go to bed. And so after calling him like 2 or 3 times, he finally comes outside. We squeeze into this taxi. We get there to their hotel. I literally sprint to their hotel room, grab my stuff, and leave.
Right.
And then I have to wait for my Uber to pick me up. I didn't get to my room till maybe 3 a.m.
Nope.
And then didn't go to bed till maybe 3:30, 3:45, and then I woke up around 7, 8ish.
Why is your body like
I
this?
have no idea. And then we left to drive home around maybe 10ish.
Hmm.
And my cousin drove first. I took like a little power nap, and then we stopped for gas, and then I drove pretty much most of the way home after that.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, that was my
That
Vegas
was your
weekend.
weekend. Yeah. Yay.
Yay!
I love that for you.
Did Kelly do any? You do anything?
Honestly, I just wanted to hear about your weekend.
Oh, cool. And then also yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes. No. No. It was Friday. Friday. Me and a friend went to go see Challengers.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yay! But that was it.
Yay.
Okay, Kelly. Feel free to tell us about this movie.
Alrighty. So this week we are talking about Three Men and a Baby.
Yay! My first time watching.
Yay.
The opening
So
song is very 80s.
it's so 80s.
Boys will be boys.
Oh,
Very,
absolutely.
very 80s.
If the decor didn't do it for you, the song definitely would.
Most definitely. Yeah.
So, we see three men. sharing an apartment and they are decorating it. And as they're decorating it, you see them go through, excuse me, a slew of women.
Hmm.
Um, and eventually the apartment is done, and we see that there is a party happening in the apartment. And Michael, one of the roommates, is documenting Peter's birthday party. We see Peter openly flirting with other women, but when a man asks about Rebecca, his girlfriend, maybe, he says, "Oh, we are so serious. Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
there's no way."
Had to chuckle.
But they are very much in an open relationship. They
Hmm.
like clarify this later.
And it was at this point of the movie where I realized that this was not going to be the family-friendly comedy I thought it was going to be.
No, it's not.
Like they were getting real racy. I was like, oh,
Yes.
oh. I was like,
Yes,
this
and
is
this
this is not the movie I thought I signed up for.
and this is technically a Disney movie. It was just under their Touchstone like
Like,
company.
like imagine being a parent and taking your kids to go see this, thinking
The
it's just
three
like
men and a baby.
it's like a little family fun movie. Like you're thinking
It's
it's gonna be like Full House, and it's not.
it's not. It's not. Definitely not. Um we then see Jack is also looking for his next conquest from the many women that are at this party. We find out that Jack is leaving the next day to go shoot on some big project. He's not doing low commercials anymore. He's like, I'm finally making it as an actor. We then see Michael in his room with a girl, and he's showing off his work. He's a cartoonist, and she just starts crying. He's trying to make the move on her, but she's crying, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And she's all like crying about her ex and whatever. And he doesn't comfort her in the way like you can find comfort in me. He's like, no, you guys are gonna get back together. Like, don't worry about it.
That's very me coded. I'm sorry, it's true. I would have been like, no, you'll be fine.
No, it's okay. Don't
Don't
cry.
cry.
I
I'm,
did bring you in here for other reasons, but
right.
now it doesn't
But
matter
now I
anymore.
feel bad.
Now I feel bad. um, we then see Jack run into Paul, I guess one of the directors that he's worked for before with commercials, and he's telling him about his new work opportunity. And Peter's like, "Hey, not Peter, Paul." Paul's like, "Can you do me like a solid? I've got a package coming tomorrow. Can I just have it routed here? Because I won't be here. I'm going to San Francisco." And Jack's like, "Oh, yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it." We then see that cake is served. And after that, the party is ended. Everything's being packed up. And Peter asks Rebecca to stay the night. But she's like, "I can't. I've got work tomorrow early. So I got to dip."
How
She's
did
not feeling it.
She's not. Also, how did this woman ever fall for Peter? He's like very obviously a player. Doesn't even try to hide it that well.
Oh, oh, no, absolutely. Because, like, all the women know that he's available,
Hmm.
which means that if other women know, she definitely
She has
knows.
to know.
So yeah, I don't understand how she doesn't.
I don't either.
Yeah, she's either she doesn't care or she cares a lot. I feel like there's no in between.
From what we see, I think she doesn't care.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I,
Oh,
I think she's like on a, well, if you're gonna do this, I'm gonna do this type of
I'm gonna do
thing.
it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Um, so after that, we see Michael and Peter suffering from post party depression, as Jack likes to call it. And he has a woman. He finally found somebody at the party.
Hmm.
And he's all like, "Oh, maybe I'll send her home. We can have like a guy's night." And they're like, "No, just the other two are like, no, 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 it's okay." But Jack's like, "No, no, no, I'll be gone for 10 weeks. Like, we should spend some time together." And they're like, "No, you obviously want to sleep with this woman. Go sleep with her."
Yeah.
So the next morning, Jack has already left, and he has left the girl that he's seeing in his apartment. And so Peter just gives her an update. He's like, "Yeah, he's already left. Like, you're free to go. Like, have a great day." And as this is happening, we see that Jack gets a message left on the answering machine. I'm so sorry. about the package that's being delivered, and it's going to be delivered later that day. So Peter goes for his morning run, and when he comes back, um, he sees something at his front door, but he doesn't really pay attention to it until he opens up the door and sees a little bassinet with a baby in it.
Yeah,
He does not believe what he's seeing, so he goes and wakes up Michael and is like, "Hey, I need you to come look at this." So Michael comes out and looks at it, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a baby. I don't know what you what you're freaking out about." But they finally look through the bassinet, and they find a letter to Jack from a woman named Sylvia saying that this is their kid. She can't take care of it anymore, and so she's leaving it at their apartment.
crazy.
Absolutely insane. So, um,
I just want everyone to know if that had happened to me and this wasn't my baby, this baby's going to the police station immediately.
yeah,
Immediately. Because,
I'm not equipped for this.
no. Jack, if you want the baby, you can pick it up when you get back, but I'm not doing this.
Right, like do like a contested parental thing. Like I don't know, figure it out.
Right? You got to figure that out on your own. But this baby
um,
will not be in my care.
no, it won't.
And see, I like to believe that I would step in and help. I don't think I would. I'm sorry. I don't
Yeah.
I don't think I
I think I would do the whole, oh yeah, I can like watch them whatever. I'd probably get like a day in, maybe a couple hours in and be like, "Oh, no.
no.
I
No.
can't." Um but Peter believes that this is the package that Jack mentioned and that he overheard on the answering machine. The babies start crying and the two freak out and they're like, "Well, we got to do something. Maybe she's hungry. I don't know." So Peter rushes to the store as Michael tries to calm the baby down and like entertain her. So Peter goes to the store, and when he asks one of the attendants for help, she gives advice,
But
good
not help.
advice, but not help.
Like
And
like Edna, just tell me what I need.
right, Edna's like, "Oh yeah, like babies love that kind of formula, but they could be allergic, but you won't know they're allergic because they can't tell you they're allergic, so they'll just throw up all over you, and you might have
But
to come back and
also
get another one."
babies just throw up. And it's like
Right, but also babies just throw up.
like what?
So Peter's standing in this baby aisle, being like, you are definitely no help."
So he just buys everything, which
He buys everything,
honestly, what
which
else
fair.
what else is he supposed to do?
Right. This is a single, well, single quote unquote,
Hmm.
um, man who has probably never held a baby before.
Yeah.
So he buys everything in sight, and Michael, who has been trying to get the baby to calm down, cannot get her to calm down. And when the doorbell rings, he thinks it's Peter, so he just opens it, doesn't even look. But it's Mrs. Hathaway, who works for the building. And she says, "Oh, she's got a package for them." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever, just like put it down." She's more excited to see the baby.
Hmm.
And she's like, "Oh, can I hold her?" And he's like, "No, just please get out." And then like he like realizes like, "Oh, she's a woman. She knows how to take care of a
Hmm.
baby."
Women know how to do that.
Women know how to do that.
They come out of the
Um,
womb just ready to
just
hold other
knowing.
babies.
Absolutely. If you give a baby another baby, they'll know how to hold them.
Yeah, they'll take care of each other. It's
Yeah.
science.
Yes, it's science. So he eventually gives her the baby, and the baby stops crying. And she's like, "Oh, the baby needs to be changed." And he's like, "Oh, of course, I knew that." Um, so she gets her out of the house when Peter comes home at the same time with a bunch of baby stuff from different stores. And Peter's like, she's probably hungry, so we gotta feed her, and tries to make a bottle. But Michael's like, "No, Mrs. Hathaway said she needed to be changed, so we gotta do that."
Okay, several things about them making this bottle. This baby could have died. They he like boiled water, I think, or was he boiling milk? What was he boiling? He was boiling
He was,
something.
I think he was trying to sanitize the nipple because Edna said something about it, so he like grabbed the bottle and just like chucked it into one of the heating pans and like put it on the stove.
Okay. Did they? So we're not clear on whether or not they actually warmed up that bottle.
No,
Okay, or if
no,
they.
like they attempted to.
And do you think that they used tap water?
They probably did.
Oh my god, that poor
They
baby.
probably did.
Okay.
They don't know any better.
Um. Wow. I hope that baby's okay.
Yeah, right, right. So they then try to change Mary. They've got her like laid out on the couch. Peter has bought the wrong size diaper, but he's not going to
That
admit that. He's gonna make
diaper
it work.
was gigantic. I
That was for
was
a toddler.
I was like, that's like a 2-year-old diaper. Why
Yeah,
are you putting that on
absolutely.
like a newborn baby?
And I'm surprised he didn't buy like a newborn baby one with all the stuff that he bought, you know?
Yeah.
And they're trying to clean her up. They're trying to get the diaper on, but they're just not having it. And when they think they have it, the diaper just slides off because it's too big, and she just pees on the couch.
Hmm. It's a rite of passage. I'm
It's a rite of
sorry.
passage.
Rite of passage that
You got to get poop or pee on something,
on
and
something,
both eventually.
and then eventually they're gonna throw up on you. It's a whole thing.
It's a
You
process.
just gotta deal
Yeah,
with it. There will
yeah,
be poop in weird places. You will just have to deal with it.
yeah, yeah. It goes up their back sometimes, depending on like what they got. Like it,
Yeah.
yeah. So they give Mary a bath, and right after they get her all cleaned up, she poops in whatever sweater they got tied around her. So they're in for a rough day. Later that night, Peter keeps falling asleep as he's trying to feed Mary. And uh, I think the middle of the night, whatever time it is, it's dark. Michael and Peter are super exhausted and they blame Jack for the whole situation.
Hmm.
The next morning, the apartment is a mess, but they have survived the night. And Peter is exhausted and is like, he works in construction. He's an architect and he's walking around these however many story buildings, like running into
Running
things,
into
which
things.
not safe. And Michael is trying to work as a cartoonist and try to watch Mary at the same time. We then see Rebecca and a man named Jan show up to the apartment after Peter has called her and is like, "Hey, we got a baby. It's Jack's baby. I need your help." And she's like, "I don't know how to do
Yeah,
that."
she's like, I don't know how to take care of a baby.
And he's all like, "I thought like all women knew how to take care of babies." And she's like, "Nah, I came here with my date because you said it was an emergency, but I cannot stay and watch this random child that's not even yours."
Rebecca is just like me. She's like, no, I'm leaving.
I
I'm the
mean, yeah. Yeah, like I get helping somebody out, but like they're not in a relationship. She came from a date.
yeah,
Like she doesn't know how to take care of a child, so why should she step up for that?
yeah.
And so he tries and begs her to stay, but she just leaves. Peter and Michael feed, bathe, and get Mary ready for uh, the package to be picked up because that was part of the like whole instruction was that the package was eventually going to be picked up. So they get her all in her little bassinet, and when two men show up, Peter and Michael just launch into their message to Sylvia and how like how dare you just like leave a child with us? Um, Here's how you take care of her. And the guys are like, yeah, funny. We're not taking the baby. And they're like, that's the package. That's the package. And they're like, okay.
If people come up to you and say that they're not here for the baby, maybe believe them because
Right.
why would why
Right.
why would you just give random people this baby and they're not even like, yeah, we're here for the baby.
Right. If they didn't explicitly say that they're there for the baby.
Yeah,
No idea.
that's insane.
So after the whole interaction, Peter's kind of suspicious. But Michael's like, peace and quiet. And Peter finds the other package that Mrs. Hathaway had delivered, and he's like, "Oh, we made the wrong decision. This is the right package that they need to be getting." So Peter goes to rush after the two men as Michael tries to yell at them from the apartment upstairs. And the men try to figure out how to get the baby in their two-seater.
Oh my god. And
And yeah,
and they try to put it in the trunk.
in the
The
trunk.
trunk.
um, and as this is all happening, we see two men in a car watching all of this happen from across the street. Peter is almost there, but he falls on his way out of the lobby and finds that the package is full of drugs. And he
Hmm.
kind of freaks out and like just stuffs everything into it and goes out to the men and be like, "We made a mistake. Here's your package. Give me the baby." And as they're struggling between the two packages, a police officer shows up, and the two men just are like, no, "There's no problem. Like, just like what? There's no problem." So they take the baby powder, thinking that the package is in the baby powder, and Peter gets the baby back. Um, and the two speed off. The police officer then asks for ID from Peter, and when he goes to grab his wallet, he feels the drugs in his jacket pocket, and he's like, "Actually, my wallet's up in the apartment." So they go up to the apartment, and Peter goes to find some ID and gives Michael Mary and is like, "Hey, the package was drugs, and I'm giving you the drugs to hide as I go talk to this officer." So Michael hides the drugs in Mary's diaper, and the
Insane.
insane. And the police officer sees his ID and is satisfied, so he goes to leave. At the same time, a detective shows up and wants to ask Peter some questions.
And they let this man in their house.
And they just let the man in the house.
Never let a cop into your house without a warrant for any reason,
Right,
ever.
right. He didn't even have ID on him. He didn't flash
No,
a
he didn't
badge.
flash a badge or anything. They just let this man into their house.
I know. And after the interaction they just had with those two guys, they're just going to believe anybody?
Exactly. I'm like, I need your badge number. Where's the warrant?
Right.
No, you can't come into my house.
So this man introduces himself as Detective Melkowitz. And when he sees Michael holding Mary after he's quote unquote changed her, he's like, "Let me hold the baby." And Peter's like, "No, I don't want you holding the baby."
I don't know
No,
you.
Peter, no, Peter's like, "Yeah, I'll hold the baby, whatever." But Michael's like, "No, don't hold the baby."
Yeah.
But Peter doesn't want to like upset the detective, so he lets Melkowitz hold Mary. And he's all like, "Oh, she's got a full diaper. Maybe you should change her." And Michael's like, "Absolutely, give me the child." And so while Michael is doing that, he asks Peter about Paul, um, the man who has worked with Jack, and he's like, "Oh, I don't really know him. Like, he's more of my roommate Jack's friend." Um, and he finds out that Paul might be involved in some drugs, which he definitely is.
Hmm.
And when this is all going on, there's a phone call and it's from Jack, and Peter has to intercept it and be like, "Dude, what the heck is going on? The package that got delivered, was drugs," but he's not listening. He's on a busy set. He can't hear them.
Yeah.
So he just hangs up.
He did. He did. Did he even mention the baby like at all?
No, he didn't. I
That
think he was more worried about the drugs
which is
than anything else.
crazy. Like
I
maybe.
mean, at that point, like, what do you even worry about telling that man first? That he's got a baby or that the package that he was supposed to deliver was drugs and now he's under investigation?
True.
There
True.
is no right way to handle this, and they did the best that they could. Um, so Peter eventually gets the detective out, and Michael and Peter um, figure out a plan of how to handle all of this. And so they hide the drugs in the diaper pail that they have, because who's gonna go through a diaper pail? And they're like, "We need to get like Jack home or something. We need to tell Jack about what's going on," but they can't get in touch with him. Um, this is still in the middle of their workday, and they try to figure out what to do now because they both have very important things to do at work. When Mrs. Hathaway shows up, and they're like, "Great, you watch the
You
baby
watch this
today,
baby.
please." And so they are able to get her to take care of the kid. And as they leave for work, two of Melkowitz's men follow Michael and Peter. As the two guys who came for the drugs watch Michael and Peter.
Hmm.
So at the end of his day, Peter realizes that he's being tailed. And as he makes it back to the apartment and goes in, he finds Mrs. Hathaway tied up and the apartment's a mess. And Mary can't be found. He eventually finds her in a maintenance closet crying. And Michael runs in a minute later with a letter saying that the next time they're going to take the baby for real. They then spend the night taking care of Mary. Peter reads her a Sports Illustrated article just so
Yeah.
he can talk to her.
He's like, she can't even understand what I'm saying.
Right. It just depends on how you speak it,
Yeah,
which is true.
just the tone. That's all she
Right.
cares about.
And he falls asleep, putting her to bed. In the middle of the night, we see somebody sneaking into the apartment, and Peter, who is on high alert from everything that's happened that day, immediately attacks the intruder until he finds out that it's Jack. And then
Mhm.
he attacks him anyway because of all
Yeah,
the trouble that he's caused.
yeah.
Um, and when he eventually gets off and Michael comes in to see what's going on, and when he sees it's Jack, he attacks him too,
As they should.
as they should.
Jack is nothing
Jack,
but trouble in this moment.
he really is. Jack then explains that he came home early because his cut was part short, and when he starts yelling, it wakes up Mary, and the two are like, "No, you need to stop." So they explain the whole situation with Mary being dropped off and the package from Paul being drugs, and he's like, "I had no idea about either." Until he reads the note that was left with Mary, and he's like, "Oh, I do remember a woman named Sylvia. We like hooked up a year and a half ago. We worked together, and so this baby is probably mine."
Yeah.
So Peter and Michael then immediately hand over Mary to Jack, and they're like, "She's your kid. You take care of her.
Right, this is your problem.
This is your problem." So they leave him to figure it all out, and he freaks out the whole time. And they're like just playing pool in the other room.
Hmm.
um, and they're like, "Yeah, you deal with it." So they kind of go back to their normal lives. And the next day, Jack tries reaching out to Paul, but is unable to reach him. However, he tries to reach out to him because he's not actually in San Francisco, and he's in Paris. This man cannot be found. Jack then breaks down in the middle of the day and calls his mom over to meet her granddaughter. And he tries to frame it in a, "Yeah, spend time with your granddaughter. Take her from me, please."
Hmm.
Because I cannot do this.
He's like, take care
And
of her for me.
yeah, essentially. And she's all like, "No, this is your mess. This is your situation. You need to grow up and be her father."
Yeah. Also, why in like movies and TV shows are the white moms always so happy when their sons show up with random babies with random strangers?
Right.
A mom
She
of
didn't question that at all.
no, a mom of color would be pissed.
I would have died.
Yeah,
I would have died.
yeah.
And then my
Absolutely.
mom would have been like, "Oh, a baby," while still like
Yeah.
killing me in her mind again.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess you just got to be white for everything to
Yeah.
just be
For
okay.
everything to be okay, you just have to be white.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story, truly.
Yeah. Um, and so that night, Peter and Michael get ready to go out for the night with Rebecca and Patty, leaving Jack with Mary again, but he seems more confident about what he's doing. The two meet up with the women at the theater, and we just see Jack taking care of Mary at the apartment. Peter gets anxious during the intermission at the theater, and he calls Jack, but there is no answer because Jack and Mary are taking a bath in the shower. So the two men get anxious and they race home before they can finish watching the play. And they come home and just see Jack and Mary out of the shower. And they're like, "Why didn't you pick up? Blah, blah, blah." And they're like, "Dude, we were just taking a
Right?
shower.
He's
Like,
like,
chill."
chill. Like,
So Peter, being the helicopter quote unquote dad that he is, he installs a phone in the
a
shower.
shower phone is ridiculous. Quite literally the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
um, a couple days later, Peter is getting the mail after work, and he finds a newspaper clipping of Paul being hospitalized after a mugging, with instructions to make the drop so that they can get rid of the drugs to the two guys that showed up earlier. The three then decide to finally like end this nonsense and like just give them what they want. And so they go and leave the apartment and go to a random phone, I guess, that has like the setup time. And when the phone rings, Peter gets on it and is immediately like, "Hey." We have the drugs. You do this our way. And gives them specific instructions to meet up at a construction site. So that night, Jack, with Mary, dressed up as like an old woman to like fool the detectives that are trailing them, like walks by the apartment as Peter and Michael get the attention of the two other detectives and take a cab out from the apartment, getting them to follow. While in the middle of that whole like driving scene, Peter and Michael leave the current cab they are in and jump into another cab that is being driven by Jack,
Hmm.
and they lose the detectives.
Hmm. Why did they bring this baby on this sting operation?
Maybe Mrs. Hathaway was busy.
Like utter, like what? They couldn't
Y'all,
find
like,
between the three of
right.
them. They couldn't find a singular person to watch this baby.
And you know they be making money.
Yeah, they have money.
At least Peter is because of his job.
Yeah,
So they
their
definitely
apartment is
could have
huge.
hired
They have
and
money.
they definitely could have hired a babysitter. Like no matter the cost.
Yeah.
So they show up to the construction site and Peter and Michael go into the building as Jack makes a phone call from the car to Melkowitz and kind of explains what's going on. Jack goes to try and do his part, but Mary starts crying in the back of the car because that's where he leaves her, and so he has to go back and take care of her. While this is happening, Peter talks with the two thugs, and once they get the package, Michael in his hiding spot falls over and they have to run from them. But Michael has successfully gotten the recording of the whole interaction between Peter and the thugs with the drugs. Yeah, that rhymed. Um, they are in the elevator and they are trying to both parties are in the two separate elevators, and there was a plan to stop the elevator with the thugs in it and let Peter and Michael down. But Jack can't figure out this whole contraption, and so he has them the other way around. He has stopped Peter and Michael and is letting the thugs
Yeah,
slowly come down.
just shenanigans. Pure
Yes,
shenanigans.
pure shenanigans. Um, and eventually, Jack is able to figure it out as the two thugs like threaten the two men and be like, "Hey, we know where you live. We can come and get that baby." Um, but Jack eventually figures it out and gets Peter and Michael down as the cops show up. Malkowitz gets out of his car, and Peter immediately goes into explaining the whole deal that they do not like. They have no connection with Paul. They didn't know about the drugs. They just wanted to end this whole thing. And so the thugs are up in an elevator. We have proof of them on this recorder. Like, if you have any questions, you know where to find us.
Yeah, because
And he buys it.
that's how police work. They just
It
take you for your
does.
word and just let
Yes.
you go.
Of course. Duh. And so after that whole situation, life goes back to normal as it can be. And they figure out life with the baby. They're all happy with one another. Um, and one night, when Rebecca is staying over, Jack can't get Mary down, so the three of them have to sing her a little song, and it puts her to bed. And when Peter gets back to the room, Rebecca makes a comment about it, and he's like, "Shut up."
Like, shut up. We're not talking about this right now.
Whatever I do with the baby stays with the baby, okay?
Exactly.
I just gotta get her to sleep. And so the next day, when Rebecca leaves, another woman exits the elevator as she's going in. And when Peter enters the door, she introduces herself as Sylvia, Mary's mom. And she says she is there to take the baby back. And
I
he's
would have
he's just,
cussed her clean
oh,
out.
absolutely.
There are words that haven't even been invented that I would just start saying
Absolutely. Like
because
there's
it would have been one
you
thing
put
if
me
you
through all of it.
yeah, you put me through hell. It'd be one thing if you came me like, hey, I need help with this baby. You abandoned this baby at my doorstep.
Right. And now you're coming back saying you want her back?
Just talking about, oh, I'm taking my baby to where is it? England?
London, yeah.
Like, girl, what?
Right. Right. Like you just needed a couple weeks off? Like
Hmm.
I don't understand. So, Sylvia gets Mary and she says that she needs to go talk with Jack. And so as that's happening, Peter goes to Michael and wakes him up and is like, "Hey, Mary's leaving. Sylvia showed up and wants to take her back." And so as Jack and Sylvia are talking, they talk about like the whole situation with the baby and how the baby is actually his. But she's figured her life out and she's going to take the baby to London so that her and her mom can raise it. So Peter and Michael pack up all of her stuff, and the four of them leave the apartment. And the three men just explain to her how to take care of her kid because they've basically set up her whole routine. Um, and they leave.
Yep.
So the three of them try to figure out their life without Mary, and it's kind of weird. Peter's really upset about it. And one night, Jack's like going into this whole thing and how his life feels weird, how he doesn't feel right about something, and eventually he just admits that he misses Mary. They then realize that this is the day that Sylvia and Mary are going to London. And so the three of them race to the airport and try to stop her and like maybe work something
Uh,
out.
Back when anyone could go into the airport.
Oh, yeah. That whole scene was so odd to me
just
because
just
they get to the airport and they just are able to run their way
to the gate.
directly to her gate.
Yeah,
You could not do that
the
today.
good old days.
Ah. And so they watch as the plane leaves and they think they've lost Mary forever. And when they get back to the apartment, they find Sylvia there just hysterically crying. And she's like, they invite her into the apartment and she's explaining to them, like, I can't do this by myself. It's going to cost me a lot of money. I work all the time. I wouldn't be able to see her. Like, I cannot do this alone.
Which is
And
weird because I thought the whole reason she was going there was to be with her family, but
right,
whatever.
right. And so at least Michael and Jack, they're like, oh no, we understand, like we get it, like even with three of us, like it was hard to just like keep her on her schedule, keep her happy, keep her alive, basically. Um, and she's like, yeah, maybe I could live in the city, or like maybe you guys can be her babysitters, like because you know the situation, you know her. And Peter's like, maybe we can do something better. And he suggests that Sylvia and Mary move into their apartment so that they can just live as a whole family unit and she wouldn't have to worry about finding a place and like the whole dropping off, picking up situation.
Mhm.
And she agrees.
She does. Peter's like, I'll build you a room.
Right. Because I'm an architect.
I'm an architect. I'll build you a room.
Right. And that is the end of the movie.
Yep,
Are you ready for some movie facts?
yep, I am.
Okay. So during the 2 week rehearsal period before filming, Tom Selleck and Steve Guttenberg, who play Peter and Michael, they were already bachelors, but Ted Danson had been married for a couple of years at that point. So to get him into a like bachelor type of mood, they spent a few nights out in Toronto, going to nightclubs, bars, restaurants, and they just went out in public and did that and caused like a bunch of excitement out in Canada because they're
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
going to random bars and restaurants and stuff like that, just living
Well,
it up.
I hope they have fun.
I hope so. My second movie fact is that this was the highest grossing movie of 1987 in the US.
Hmm. Okay.
Gotta put some respect on 3 Men and a Baby. Um, the diapers used in this movie are from Pampers, and the company paid $50,000 so that their brand could be used in the movie.
Oh, well, that was money not well spent because I don't even remember any Pampers branding in that movie.
Well, because the brand also looks different to like what they are today, so I don't blame you. But yeah, when Peter's going to the store for the first time to buy all of the baby stuff for Mary, all of the diapers on the wall are Pampers, and then when
Isn't
he
that
gets
how it
home,
already is when you go to the store, though? Like, isn't it already like always Pampers? I mean,
I don't
I don't
know.
pay attention. I don't have a baby. I don't
I don't
I
either.
don't know.
I don't go down the baby section regularly.
But I feel like when I see diapers in stores, it's
It's
always Pampers
Pampers.
anyway.
Well, they just wanted to make sure for real that they were the only diaper brand shown in this movie.
Which, by the way, just buy the generic brand. It's the same thing. Save a little bit of money.
And my third movie fact, I'm just gonna hit you with some other perspectives to play Michael because I don't know if I want to make you guess. I don't know if you know a lot of '80s actors.
We'll see.
You can guess if you'd like.
I'll
There's
try.
one, two, three. There's four of them.
Okay. Um, 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 what's that man's name from When Harry Met Sally? What is his name?
Oh, not him.
No?
I
Okay.
I know who you're talking about, but no, that's
Um,
like
was Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise. That's not who I'm thinking of. What's his name? Tom from Forrest Gump.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Yes, Tom
Okay,
Hanks was
there
one
we
of them.
go. Who else? Who else? Um, I can't think of these men's names.
I can give you two hints for two
Okay,
of these
give
guys.
me a hint.
One of these actors is in an iconic Halloween movie, and the other
Hmm.
one is iconic for his action movies.
Sean Connor, not Sean Connery. Is that who I'm thinking of? No,
Not Sean Connery. He would have been old in
That's not who
'87.
I'm thinking of. He's in a movie with Sean Connery. What is his Harrison Ford?
No.
No. Okay. Hmm, um.
Recently stopped acting due to illness. The action guy.
Oh, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
He's considered an '80s star. I consider him more '90s. But okay, yeah,
Mm, that's fair.
yeah,
This movie came out in '87, so it's close to the '90s.
yeah. Um, that was the action star, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one supposed to be? He was in a horror movie.
Not horror. It's a Halloween movie. We've done an episode about it.
A Halloween movie that we did an episode on. Oh my gosh. I have no idea.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Oh, we did an episode on
Yes.
that? Oops.
This past Halloween.
We did.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. We did Beetlejuice.
Yes, we did.
Yikes. Okay.
Wow. And the last one, I don't know how to explain this other than he was in Grease. John Travolta.
Oh, I was going to say Alec Baldwin, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of other actors that you could have gone for, but yeah. Those were the four that they wanted, they were considering for this movie. And so here comes the question, Jordan: is this movie iconic?
No, but it was fun.
Yeah,
I had fun watching this.
yeah, same. It's not iconic, but it's a really good movie.
Very enjoyable.
Oh yeah,
Would definitely watch it again.
yeah, yeah. I would. All right, Jordan. So what are your recommendations for this week?
Okay, I have three. My first one is, oh God, Empathogen by Willow. It's
Mm-hmm.
Willow Smith's new album. I really enjoyed it. No one told me about it. Like, I had to find that on my own, but it was enjoyable. My second recommendation is "Forever for Me" by Demi Lovato.
Classic.
Great song. If Demi Lovato's gonna do one thing, it's sing. She
Oh,
just
absolutely.
sang the paint off of the walls. Just amazing. And then my last recommendation is "Demigod" by Chica.
Ooh, okay.
Really, I had never listened to Chica until we were driving back from Vegas, and my cousin was playing a playlist and a Chica
Mhm.
song came on. I was like,
Yo.
this is good. And then another Chica song came on, and I was like, this is good. So I might have to
You're
get into
like, wait
Chica.
a minute.
Yeah,
All right.
but that's it for me. What about you?
Okay, so I am going to be recommending some Megan Thee Stallion songs
As you
because
should.
I'm starting to listen to her whole discography in preparation for the concert that we're going to.
Yeah, as you should.
So I am going to be recommending Simon Says.
I love Simon Says.
I know you do.
I love
I know you do.
that is a song that needs to be performed at this concert, and I'm not playing.
um, I hope so. I really hope so. I've got a running list.
Hmm.
We'll talk about it when we get closer to the concert, but I've got a running list about what I would like her to to perform. And then my second recommendation is Megan's Piano.
Okay, yeah. Also a song I'd like to hear.
So yeah.
But I'm putting priority to Simon Says. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and an Instagram. They're both at SY2I Podcast. Very sorry about how long my story about Vegas was, but like it was a week. I
It
mean, it was pretty
was.
much a week. It was 4 days. Um, but memories I will remember for the rest of my life.
Cherish. Yes.
Don't forget to send us your movie requests or your movie stories or email sy2ipodcast@gmail.com. Who would you have liked to see in this movie? I feel like Harrison Ford could have played Peter very
I
well.
think so. I
Very
think so.
well. But Tom Selleck was good.
I like Tom Selleck. He's cool.
I like Tom Selleck. Don't really know much about him other than this. His like little arc with Monica on Friends, and then I think he's on Blue Bloods now. which
Yeah, he is on Blue
which
Bloods.
I don't know anyone who watches Blue Bloods, but it's been
I
on
I've
for
never seen
like
it.
10 years.
Have you seen Magnum PI? He was Magnum PI.
Never seen that either.
Okay.
But yeah, let us know at our email, sy2ipodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to share us with your friends and your family. Subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and rate and review us on Apple Podcasts with 5 stars.
Thank you.
Um, Today is Mother's Day. I hope everyone had a good Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Um,
Happy Mother's Day.
we're so close to a holiday, y'all. We're so
We are
close.
so close.
Just 2 more weeks. Actually, no, a week and a half by the time this comes out, and then Memorial Day.
Let's go.
Yeah, can't wait. I need a break.
Truly.
I need a true break because like
I need a break.
that Las Vegas was not a
That
break
was
for
not
me.
no. And even if the concert was there, it definitely would have been a
It
break for
definitely
you.
wouldn't have been a break. Do you know that this entire week I have been fighting for my life to stay awake at work?
Hmm.
Like literally falling asleep at my desk.
Oh no.
No matter
You
how
made
early
it.
I was going to bed, I was falling asleep at my desk.
You made it though. You
But
did
I
it.
made it. My sleep schedule is back.
We love to see
It
it.
took almost a week, but it's back. But yeah, everyone stay safe out there. Have a good week and stay iconic.
Stay iconic, Al.
Bye.